All right, Virgo, welcome back. I'm Ryan with Arrows of Love. Today I'm going to do your June 2021 Love Situationship Tarot reading. We just went through a series of eclipses. Eclipse season is officially over. And that happened on the Gemini-Sagittarius axis. And for you, Virgo, that is your 4th and 10th house. These are angular houses, so these are particularly potent for you. The 4th house has to do with home, family, ancestry, property, motherhood, and foundations and roots. So things could have come to light in the family over this time. That would have been, the lunar eclipse happened in Sag in late May. So maybe dealing with some family karma, just general things coming to light during that time. Eclipses always mark new beginnings and endings, and they tend to be quite big when they happen on these angular houses. The Gemini solar eclipse new moon was early June, June 10th. That was in your 10th house of careers, your outward appearance in the world, ambition, success, achievement, determination. So maybe you're looking to change things up. One way this might manifest for you is that you take a job and it requires a move. Maybe it's a promotion. So that is one way that this could come about. Others of you might be leaving a job, deciding what you're doing just isn't fulfilling enough anymore. But overall, you could expect some big changes in career over the next 6 months and perhaps something within the home. Venus, the planet of love, harmony, negotiation, pleasure, romance, is in Cancer. And for you, that is favorable. Cancer is your 11th house, and this is the house of financial gains, your hopes, wishes, and dreams. It has to do with technology and innovation, the future, and your group associations and friends. So Venus in the 11th house takes on more of a detached quality overall, but it's in Cancer, and Cancer is very much self-protective, and it wants security and comfort. It's very much about nesting. So Netflix and chill would be a good idea if you're partnered up or dating or anything like that. That would perhaps strengthen a relationship, or just you end up having a very nice night. So that's the general quality that Venus takes on. But it's a more of a friendship type quality. So perhaps you meet someone through a friend, or maybe a friend comes out of the woodwork and has feelings for you. All of those are potential possibilities when Venus is in your 11th house. It's also connected to the home or the mother of some type. So maybe you know someone back home that you're interested in, or maybe your mom sets you up with someone. God forbid. Anyway, but it's those are real manifestations of Venus in the 11th. Mars just moved into Leo not too long ago on June 11th. Leo is your 12th house, and Mars is this planet of action, vitality, can also represent cutting and severing, but it's also virility. And in Vedic astrology, the 12th house is a house about sex, intimacy. So I would say overall, this could be really good for your intimate life. The 12th house is also about confinement, isolation, introspection, and research. It can also be a house of self-undoing. So this is where drugs and escapism and alcohol come up a lot. So you need to be really careful about your partying and your consumption, and are you escaping? Are you using escape mechanisms to avoid reality? So those are all themes that Mars can really bring up, and Mars is action, so it's got to really be careful about any escapist behaviors, but this could also be really good for your intimate life too. So that's the general astrology right now. Venus is going to be making an opposition over to alchemical Pluto before she leaves Cancer within the next few days. I'm doing this video on June 21st. So I think it's right around the 24th or 25th. Venus is going to come into an opposition with Pluto. Pluto is the underworld. Pluto is things unseen, and it's sitting over in Capricorn in your 5th house of romance. Children, fun and games. This is complicated energy, a lot of passionate, anything dealing with passion can come up during this time. So you could be magnetically drawn to someone and feel like you have a connection to this person instantly. I have to warn you though, whenever Pluto's involved with Venus, these can be transformative relationships, but they can also be very difficult. So if you're out there meeting people, I'd say just get to know them a little bit. Don't jump into the bedroom right away, even though that Mars energy in the 12th is going to make you want to do that. So, because there's something that could come up that is quite dark, because Pluto is dark. It's dark energy. It's transformative and it's healing, but it kind of goes through this dark night of the soul type energy. And when Venus is involved with it, with relationships, don't go home with someone from the bar, okay? Because that could lead to some real messy stuff, if you get my drift. It's just one of those things where you got to be kind of careful here. Anything with self-undoing, intimacy matters. Get to know someone first before you jump into the sack. That's what I'm going to say with that, because there's also some delusion in the air, because Mercury is still in retrograde until tomorrow, until the 22nd. It's in Gemini, and that's in your 10th house of careers and your outward appearance. So things are still messed up with communication. Things are still messed up with technology. And I'll just give you one quick example in my personal life. I'm a Cancer rising, so Gemini is my 12th house. The 12th house is the house of sex in Vedic astrology, but it's also a house of unseen things, hidden things. So I was transferring assets in brokerage accounts from different institutions. Sitting there looking at my account like, where the heck are my assets? They said it's transferred, can't find them. Hidden things, right? Turns out they deposited my stocks into the wrong brokerage account, someone else's account. So I got to go get them back. So this is Mercury being the trickster, going through my own Mercury, retrograde cycle right now. I'm hoping by the end of the shadow phase, which will be early July, I'll get my assets back. But, that's just one manifestation of Mercury retrograde for you, so you can see how it works in the real world. So today we're going to do your situationship reading. I'm going to pull one card from the Angels Oracle deck for the general energy, 6 cards from the Tarot. I'm going to do a modified Celtic Cross today for you. I'm going to get down to some details for you. Not a ton happening in your love houses right now, except for the fact that Saturn is still, Jupiter is sitting in your 7th house of marriage, one-on-one relationships, legal contracts. That's Pisces, and it's going to go retrograde. Went retrograde actually over the weekend. It's a 4-month retrograde, so it's going to go back into Aquarius, where Saturn is sitting right now. So that is your 6th house of work, mundane affairs, pets, health, things you feel bound to, things you feel slave to. It's got an element of servitude to it, and Jupiter's this planet of growth and expansion. And when it's going retrograde, the karmic ties are locked, so to speak. And now you got to deal with the karma that you've created over the last, 7 to 8 months. So while Jupiter was going forward, so it can be a little bit heavy, and it's retrograding in that 7th. So things might come up if you're married that you don't expect. Just know that next year, Jupiter will be in that 7th house of Pisces all year. So if you're doing any review of your relationships right now, Jupiter might be a part of that. Now you got Mars sitting in the 12th, and Pluto's still in your 5th house of romance, changing that completely up. So you got a lot of heavy stuff going on right now, Virgo. Let's see what the cards have to say. Here we go. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Very nice. So, if you are single and looking, and you got someone on the radar, now is the time to let them know. The universe is saying it's okay, express your love. If you're partnered up, it's time to show them some affection. Maybe it's time to go on a trip. Leave the kids behind. You need some one-on-one time for you two, so that's a great card. All right, so we're gonna pull six cards from the tarot. The first card is your general energy, okay? Ooh, there it is, 4 Wands, that's the marriage card. We just talked about Jupiter retrograding back through your 7th house. Pluto is sitting in your 5th house of romance. Mars is sitting in your 12th house of intimacy. So here it is. you might be dealing with the one. That's awesome. The second card is the issue. Eight of Cups. Taurus just got this card too. You might be dealing with a Taurus. We'll get more to that. This is what you're conscious of in the relationship. Ten of Wands. Yeah, so feeling burdened. Things could feel pretty heavy right now, like you're trying to get somewhere, but you just got a lot on your plate. That's not atypical. This is what is you're unconscious of, what you're unaware of. Here's the Taurus card again. Wow. King of Pentacles. So this is, you have security, you have stability, you have resources. You might be feeling like you're kind of left in the dust, so to speak. So, but we'll talk more about that. This is the limitation in the relationship. Ooh. This is the Scorpio card. This is death. The limitation is that something needs to end. This is the outcome. Nice. Six of Wands, victory. So you have quite a few wands here. You have the 4, the 10, the 6. You have some cups, you have some pentacles. What's missing is air energy. So to me, you need to be rational. You need to sit down and think about this. And you are a very rational sign. Mercury is your ruling planet. It's still retrograde. Things can be really foggy right now. Miscommunication, not really sure which way you're going. You gotta wait. Mercury is going to station direct tomorrow, but it's going to move through shadow over the next week and a half or so. So give it some time. Things will become more clear. But let's dive into this. So go ahead and express your love. You need to get things out, okay? Because the person you're dealing with here could very well be your partner or your future partner. If you haven't met this person yet, might be your future partner. This is the marriage card in the tarot. 4 of Wands, the wreath, the couple, castle and back. It's a very happy card. It's also celebration. So some of you might be going to a celebration of some type. There's a lot of graduations happening right now. So maybe you meet someone at a graduation party. If you're single. Summertime, time to get out. So any type of celebration with friends, getting together. That would be beneficial for you too. Maybe you meet someone there. But overall, this has to do with coupling. So this is where you're at. This is what your focus is on right now. And what the issue is that there needs to be something left behind. And this goes with the death card, right? It's an ending. So something's holding you back. Something's holding you back or your partner back. And there's some emotional ties here. So maybe there's an ex that keeps coming around causing problems. Maybe there's a past situation that hasn't been fully resolved yet. Because there's an emotional attachment. The cups are still standing, but the man's walking away. Someone's being stubborn. Taurus energy. Taurus can be extremely stubborn. They don't want to move. So, if you've got Taurus in your chart, or perhaps your significant other is a Taurus, they're having a hard time letting something go. And it's something they're emotionally attached to. It could be work, could be another person, could be a situation, it could be a thought process that just isn't working out, but something needs to give here. And what I find interesting is that the moon's up here, so that's pointing to that lunar eclipse that was in your 4th house. So it could be some type of family ties, a family belief, an upbringing that just isn't working. Religious beliefs, faith, something to that effect is like holding you back. It's holding the relationship back. And it's quite burdensome because you're aware of this. It's a heavy burden. It's the man carrying his sticks toward the house. It is the end of a cycle, which is nice. 10s represent the end. So you start the new, but it's just like you gotta unload this. Whatever this is, if it's you, if it's them, they need to detach. It's something that they don't need to be carrying around anymore. It's not producing the results that you need. And you have the resources to deal with this. You have similar values that you need to explore. You need to make sure you're on the same page about, but they are there. This is a value card. But it looks like someone's just really unwilling to to budge. They're being stubborn about it. It's very stubborn energy that I'm picking up with this, especially with the 10 of Wands, the 8 of Cups. It's like, I don't really want to I don't want to emotionally move on from this, but I know it's weighing me down. It's like, why? Why carry around the burden? There's no reason to be stubborn here, because the reality is, if it's not dealt with, the universe is going to come in and end it. So it depends on how you want to deal with this situation. Either the situation resolves itself, there's a letting go, there's a healing that's done here, so you can move on from whatever this is, or the alternative is things fizzle out. You just say, enough's enough. I'm not doing this anymore. Death is the end. Something has to literally die in order for something to be reborn. And it's this stubbornness, it's this burden, it's perhaps some family drama, family karma, family traditions that need to be dealt with here. That's just not serving you, that you don't align with. And once you make this transformation, once you start making steps to let go, and it's not going to be an easy process, it's going to be a slow process, it's not going to happen overnight, right? People don't change overnight, it takes a lot of time. But if you're making those steady steps to make change happen, and you get this 6 of Wands, this is victory. This is also a marriage card. This is the man riding off on the horse with victory. This is huge, especially with the 4 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. There could be resources involved. Maybe there's something dealing with money that needs to be dealt with here. But once you let go of this, once we say enough's enough, once you say the cycle ends, once you start putting steps to change, get the victory. And it's a massive one. It's a really good reading, Virgo. Some heavy stuff in the air. These eclipses really affect people very heavily. So sometimes this takes about 6 months to play out. So give it some time. Be patient. This is another advice for this, is you need to be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. But it will in fact happen. Or you're going to make a change and you're going to go in a different direction. It's one or the other. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please click that like button and subscribe if you enjoy these videos and would like to see more of them. It's always very much appreciated for me, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya.